Hello, I'm Captain Harry Kim, Starfleet's military liaison to Kobali Prime. The Vaadwaur have been assaulting the Kobali homeworld for months now. The Kobali are near a breaking point. They're not trained for war, not like the Vaadwaur. The Alliance is here to stop the Vaadwaur and help the Kobali reclaim their home. You and several others will be leading our forces here. I'll be doing some investigations to help support the effort. Good luck.
The Kobali. When the Delta Alliance began expanding into the Delta Quadrant from the Jenolan Dyson Sphere, one of the species we encountered were the Kobali. A relatively peaceful race, they have since come under full-scale assault from the Vaadwaur. Trying to call an end to the conflict and have all parties sit together has failed. The Vaadwaur seem intent on destroying the Kobali and view our support as condition enough to mark us as their enemies too. As for Captain Kim, well, he's been appointed to liaise between the Federation and the Kobali after his tenure aboard the Voyager, during which he was unable to escape beyond the operations station. He was immediately promoted on his return to Lieutenant and replaced Tuvok as Chief of Security on the ship for a time. By 2400, he was a commander and in charge of security on Starbase 11. Not long after that, he was promoted to captain and given the USS Rhode Island. Kobali Prime and its surrounding settlements are protected by force fields that have been weathering the Vaadwaur barrage now for months. Given that the Vaadwaur attacks of the Kobali have been constant and only escalated within the last few days, and that the Alliance has been offering succour to them for some time, we can safely estimate that it's been around a month since our first expeditions into the Quadrant. This is supported by the level of the Kobali casualties, and there have been numerous, with the medical centre overflowing into camps dotted around the streets. Around the courtyards, burbling fountains interrupted by the thoom of siege fire, Alpha Quadrant powers are sharing their knowledge of military tactics with the unprepared Kobali. The shielding around the city shows no sign of wavering despite the irregular barrage from the Vaadwaur outside, and I'm left to assume that the fire levelled against them is simply to keep the suppressive atmosphere up, a reminder of the danger beyond the city limits, preventing the Kobali from relaxing. It's a psychological tactic. Right, enough sightseeing. Let's introduce ourselves to General Connell.
I cannot tell you how good it is to have you here. Our people have been bombarded by the Vaadwaur for months. We cannot take much more of this. Before you go out to the field, I would ask your help within the city. Morale is at an all-time low, and our people could use a boost. We've been fighting this war for nearly a year now, and it's taking a toll on our troops. We are a peaceful people. This is the first time my soldiers have been exposed to death and destruction on this scale. They're demoralized and depressed, and I'm concerned about the long-term effects on their mental health. You have more experience than we do in battle. It would help if you could speak to our soldiers and share your insights. Please stop by the medbay. Some of the wounded there have asked to meet you. We can't stop until the Vaadwaur leave our world.
We'll do as the General asks.
You're part of the reinforcements that everyone was talking about. Please, you have to stop the Vaadwaur. We can't lose our home. Not after it took us so long to find it.
The Kobali settled this world around 90 years ago. Before that, they were a drifting race, looking for somewhere to put down roots. Don't worry, we'll always find a solution.
5th time I've been in the medbay. Don't think I can go out again after this. Could you take over for me? Everyone here is so scared of the Vaadwaur. Someone has to be strong.
5 times through the medbay and you're still here? I'd say that makes you pretty strong. But don't worry, we'll lend a hand.
My brother, my sister, they're both dead. I couldn't help them. You have to avenge them. Make their deaths worth something. Do what I could not.
Thank you. It may not seem like much, but you've given those soldiers hope. We have several officers who were recently promoted, who might need some additional training, as well as several tasks that could use your presence. Would you mind taking one of them along to let him shadow you? There is so much we could learn from an experienced Starfleet officer. Many groups of our soldiers have become demoralized over the course of this war. I've tried my best to motivate them, but nothing has worked. They are all aware you are an expert commander with more battle experience than any Kobali. Could you visit groups of our soldiers and motivate them to keep fighting?
It feels kind of wrong to be sharing so much of the Alliance's military insight, not technology, mind, just experience with the Kobali. How much is it altering them, and then how are they viewing us because of it? And again, what's the alternative? Very well, we'll train your troops. Anaknosquadel, I'm Captain Hale, here to pick up a recruit.
Reporting for duty, sir. It is a pleasure to watch you in action, sir.
Okay, rookie, first lesson, we're jogging everywhere. As a captain, you'll have less free time to keep fit, so we're tying it into our daily activities. We escort our trainee to various gatherings of soldiers to rally their spirits.
Wow, I haven't seen the soldiers that motivated in a while. How did you know what to say to inspire them like that? I've tried before, but it did no good.
Well, don't say shit like that in front of them for a start. Trial and error. Emulate those that inspired you.
Interesting. We'll keep going. I'll watch what you do and see if I can do that in the future.
Also, I understand there are a lot of wounded, but don't just allow them to flop down wherever and wail. That's super bad to let every passerby witness. Get them somewhere where they can be seen receiving help. So, the Kobali command structure is made up of ranks. Umare and Anak are at the bottom of this, and make up the rungs of the majority of the soldiers. The fellow shadowing us is a Tycoon, the lowest rung on Officer Branch, or something similar. Above him are Hanchon, and then the generals.
This is Captain Kim. I found some information for you.
Well, that's good timing, Captain. We have just done training our rookie. I'll meet you in the courtyard.
Something isn't right here. I've done some investigating, and I don't think the Kobali are being entirely truthful with us.
We can act aghast at his accusations. In his younger days, he did tend to let speculation run wild, but this Kim is 60 years old and far more experienced. Plus, he's been here longer, so let's hear him out.
Not so much found, as observed. The Vaadwaur clearly have superior firepower, tactics, and training, right? So why haven't they already wiped the Kobali out? They haven't hesitated to do so on other worlds. Sure, the Kobali have a shield around the capital, but they've been fighting the Vaadwaur for months now, and they're consistently losing troops and territory. I don't understand how the Vaadwaur haven't already taken the capital and finished this.
That is an interesting observation. I'd noticed the shield, but you're right. It is strange that there's been no real pushes to take the cities, like they're trying to keep the Kobali just contained. So maybe the city's not their target.
Exactly. There has to be some other objective for the Vaadwaur here, and we need to find out what it is. We have to help the Kobali. We can't do it if we're blinded.
Alright, we'll continue as is. I'll help the general, you continue digging behind the scenes.
Understood. I won't let you down.
It's understandable that this may cause issues. We need to be able to help, and if we don't know the entire tactical layout, all of the variables, any plans we make are going to have exploits we didn't even know about.
Thank you for your assistance. Your presence here means we're not fighting alone anymore. That's more important than you know. My son is in the trenches now, and he could use your... Wait, what's that?
Wait, what's what?
The Vaadwaur are at the gates. You have to help us.
Harry jinxed it. He said there'd be no major assaults, and now what do we have? Oh, a major assault on the front gate. We rush down to the entrance to the city and draw arms to meet the attackers. Well, it's hardly an army out here, more like a couple of squads, but nonetheless it looks like they made short work of the Kobali defenders. We take them down and move in to look for surviving Kobali, some of which we are able to stabilise and they stand up to aid us. One touch I do really like is that the sound of these impacts from the siege are different now we're outside of the protective shield. And it suddenly dawns on me that, yeah, it's a little more dangerous out here. But then more Vaadwaur appear, and we have to fight on. Technicians at the rear can deploy heavy shielding to protect those in front, making them impervious to hand weapons, so we'll have to take out the support first.
Kim here. Something definitely isn't right.
What do you mean? What have you found?
The General is waiting for you. I'll keep trying to figure this out.
Okay, seems he doesn't want to talk about it over an unsecured comm line. I think there's more going on with the Kobali than we've been led to believe. We report to General Cannell, who shares some concerns with us.
My son Jatanian is commanding our forces outside the city. The Vaadwaur should never have reached us without so much as a warning from him. Something must have happened. Here is his position in the field. Take the nearby transporter and make your way to his command post. He may need assistance.
So something might be wrong with their forward command posts. Well then, we can take the transporter to get there, but if we're going outside the walls, I think I might need a change of uniform. After a quick relay of inventory from the armiger in orbit, we're ready to set foot into the war zone. There's more going on here than meets the eye, and I think the Kobali front is going to prove a real challenge. Let's hope we're up to it. The Kobali front has a lot of missions involved, and can be rather disjointed as a single chapter, sort of unfolding in arcs that you pick yourself. So it's more like a series of mini-quests with missions as well, dotted all throughout this dangerous map. So I think I'll try to make shorter episodes, but more of them. Just in this section of the narrative, as making a single mega episode sounds fun, but it will probably be delayed. So for now, I'll end this video here, but hopefully I'll have part 2 out before next Tuesday, when then there will be part 3. So until then, thanks for watching, and goodbye.